Playing Warframe for these past like 3 weeks has been very eye-opening to me. Because, first of all, I never thought I'd get back into the game this seriously. I thought I would come back pretty casually, maybe play a couple hours a week. But when I got back to Warframe, it was like the last time I got back on Warframe, and I played it for like 5 hours straight. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but there's something about this game that I still really love, despite me kind of wanting to take it less seriously. And this time when I went back to it, I completely shed my completionist mindset, the mindset that sort of made me quit the game in the first place, or at least it was part of the reason why. And I tried to come at it with a different mindset, sort of like, just like taking a different approach to it, taking one thing at a time, one task at a time. And it's been like I've been playing a different game all this time, all those like 2 years ago or something at this point. Time is crazy, bro. But however long ago when I started Warframe, it's like now I'm playing a whole different game. And I kind of want to talk about that, why I'm quitting Warframe video, as well as I guess just the reason in general why I quit Warframe and why I was just completely wrong about it. Not because, again, my opinions were wrong. I still feel like my opinions were valid at the time that I made them, and I still feel like they hold some weight today for different players. But now that I'm not that player, now that I can see it from a different perspective, I now understand where I went wrong, at least to me. Again, all this is opinionated, by the way, so like if someone still doesn't like Warframe for the reasons I'll bring up, then that is completely valid on their part. But I just feel like the way I went about it when I first started playing it was completely wrong, and it really hurt my overall experience until I ended up quitting the game. So yeah, other than that, let's get right into it. And I want to bring up the first thing that is probably one of the main reasons why I think that I quit Warframe. Well, maybe not that I particularly quit Warframe, but I think that it makes Warframe such a Herculean task to really get into, and not just to sort of casually play it every couple months for a couple hours with your friends or something. And it's because like the onboarding on Warframe, it for me specifically was very tough to get into. And I played other live service games where I had no idea like anything about the game. I didn't go look up beginner guides videos. I was like, I don't need that nonsense. I play single player games the same way. Why would I do it any differently for a live service game? Let me just get into the game and learn as I play, right? But that just didn't work for me in Warframe, and I really had to rely on the community and just people I knew outside of the game to really help me understand the game, because I still wasn't going to go watch I'm seeing 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I literally yesterday saw a 5-hour beginner's guide to Warframe in 2026. Now I understand the game's been out for over 14 years or something. It's crazy, but still a 5-hour video of a beginner's guide video. No beginner is going to watch that from start to finish and then actually go into the game and take all that information they absorbed and make use of it in the game. And unfortunately, I think when you see something like that as a beginner player, you kind of feel like, okay, so this is something I really gotta, I can't just half commit, half, just be whatever with it. I have to 100% be fully committed to this, basically treat it like a part-time job if I want to get into Warframe, because I'm already so far back from the start line. And let me make it clear again, I don't agree with that mindset anymore. That's the mindset I had back then, was I gotta catch up quickly, because everyone else they have 5, 6, 7, maybe they've been playing Warframe since the very start of the game. Maybe they have a full 13-year head start on me, and they know everything about the game, every little detail, little lore bit, everything about the story, every mechanic. Maybe they know literally everything about the game, and I kind of want to catch up to them as well, because I kind of want to be, it's kind of like that FOMO thing, right? When new story content comes out, when new frames come out, when new content comes out, whatever it is, you kind of want to just be in the know. You don't want to be that guy who's still 1,300 hours back, still doing the basics. And I think that's the trap that me and a lot of other new players get caught in, is that we think we can just sort of bull rush, or sort of just force our way through all this amount of content and all this amount of time that we missed out on, and just rush through it, or just try our best to get through it so that we can catch up. And that's just not how, imagine if someone's been playing, I don't know, my favorite game of all time is Baldur's Gate 3, and I bring it up every video. So someone's been playing Baldur's Gate 3 like me for 1,700 hours. They know literally there's not anything they don't know about the game. And there's this other player who has never even played CRPGs before, let alone Baldur's Gate 3. and they just hop into the game. They decide to play it on hard mode their first time. Actually, you know what? They decide to play it on honor mode. Maybe they play on your account, and they're frustrated that they can't get anything going because they're like, dang, these enemies, like I can't get going. They have the best positioning. They have like 5 times my health. I just don't know what to do. And they get frustrated and they drop the game, right? It's like that. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. You need to start out on normal, possibly even like the story mode if it's your first time playing a CRPG in general, let alone one as complex as Baldur's Gate 3, and you're trying to go at it the same way a veteran player who has over 1,700 hours would go at it. It just doesn't make any sense. So why would it make sense for a live service game that has an abundance of content the amount of Warframe? Right? It doesn't make any sense, but it's like, I think you get stuck in a trap when you see like all these videos and all these players in game. You see someone with a frame and you go down, you click on their profile and it's like, oh, they have 132 days of playtime. Like, what the hell? I have no shot of catching up to that person unless I buy everything. So you just kind of get in this mindset of, I gotta grind like right now. From day one, it's the grind task and nothing else matters. And that's where I went wrong. I started to grind from the jump. Like, I enjoyed the core gameplay loops and everything like that, but I couldn't take time to really enjoy the game and what it had to offer. And that would include the story as well. I just recently got back into the story, and if you want to know how much I really love the story, go watch my last video. Oh my god, the story. Please go watch my last video, because the best story of any live service game is incredible. And I was missing out on all this great stuff because I was like, oh, this blueprint is missing one barrel part. Okay, I gotta get the void fissures. And then I go into the void fissures. Oh, I only need this one part right here, so let me go in and try to get this part. And then I come away with another part, and then I was like, oh, this blueprint's almost completed. And you keep jumping around from blueprint to blueprint, and then you try to do, side mission to side mission after that. Then 5 minutes later, some challenges pop up. Then you got the Nova market. Sorry, it's been a while since I played the game, but like the Nova credit offerings or whatever. You're like, oh, there has this one part in there that I really need, or this one resource in there that I really need for a blueprint that I can make. So let me go ahead and get on that as well. And then you start juggling like 4 or 5 different tasks instead of like that one task that you originally started with. You let it get out of control. And for me, at least, it just wasn't the optimal way to play. Like, I usually can't play games like that. I usually have no issue playing a game with just like taking on 6, 7, 8 different tasks. That's why I love RPGs so much. Just give me all the quests, all the side quests, all the side activities, everything. Give me all of it at once and we'll be good to go. And I feel like I didn't want to play the game Warframe for what it actually was. And that's actually something that other people told me as well. They were like, even though your criticisms on certain things are technically true, like, it doesn't fit for the kind of game this is and always was. Like, it's not like it switched halfway to being something else. Like, it was always this game, and it seems like you kind of want a different game. So, for example, some of the criticisms I brought up was, again, just like the really easy enemy AI for like regular grunt enemies, which now looking back on it, I'm just like, well, that makes complete sense. Like, I don't see an issue with that. That's me now. Back then, I was like, I kind of wanted it to play sort of like a tactical shooter for some reason. I don't know why. It's just, now that I look back on it, it's like, for some reason, I wanted the game to be like so hardcore, extreme tactical mode when that's just, it never was that kind of game. I was talking about like cover issues. There's no like cover system. That has nothing to do with the kind of game. And I kind of understand where I'm coming from in a sense. Like Warframe back then, whenever I looked at the game back then, I was like, this kind of looks like half tactical, half just like crazy bullet jumping combo fun. But Warframe always leaned in the direction of space opera and not just like hard sci-fi or whatever I was thinking it was going to be. Like, it was never that game. I don't know why I had that expectation. I don't know. I think the early hours of Warframe, they were a lot more subtle, I guess. It's not as, you don't see these flashy frames all over the place and all these AoE attacks and miscellaneous damage numbers all over your screen because you're just doing a mass amount of damage. You don't have that issue as of yet. So it still kind of feels like sort of like a little grounded. But it was just like the wrong expectation. And I know it's the wrong expectation because I talk about it in my first video on Warframe about like the crazy movement tech. Like, I talked about that in my first video. I don't know why I wanted it to be like some sort of grounded shooter all of a sudden. I just lost my mind, I guess. Like, I'm playing Warframe now, and I still like to play mostly by myself just because, for the sole reason that it actually challenges me. Not that I don't like playing with other people, I absolutely do. But I mostly play solo because I really have to think and focus on the boss fights that I'm going against. Like whenever I face these boss missions and I get to the boss fight at the end, I really have to think about it if I'm going at it and it's like level 40 plus, because I'm like at level like 35-ish. And although it's still manageable, I still have to think about it somewhat strategically. Also, my big thesis for the video overall was that it takes more of a time commitment than it is of like a skill requirement for Warframe. Like, I don't really understand where I was coming from, because like every live service game's like that. Actually, every game ever is like that. The more you play a game, the better you're going to be at it, just inherently. Like, some people might not be as good as others if they have the same amount of playtime, but you're all going to be pretty damn good if you're 1,300 hours into a game. As long as you just know how to play games, even playing games pretty much all your life, you're going to be pretty damn good after playing a game for so long. So again, it's like, I don't understand like some of my points. I could understand where I was coming from, like in my frustrations as a newer player trying to catch up with everyone else, but it didn't make much sense considering that people had such a head start on me, and I just needed to take my time with the game and not play it like I'm trying to rush through all the content and all and just everything and not really enjoy the game. Just put the game on mute, have podcasts on in the background. Now I'm actually much more immersed in the game. I actually I try to at least pay attention to every detail, every little intercom of a character talking. I try to listen to as many tips as people give me, and just overall, I'd like to take it now at my own pace. And that's made it to where I'm actually really, really enjoying, like over these past 3 weeks, I've played nothing but Warframe, and I've played like 50 hours. I work full time, so I can't play it every single day, but dang, man, Warframe has been my like main game as of like the current moment. And it's probably going to continue to be my main like live service game, because other live service games, I'm going to be honest, I just can't get into other live service games or communities. The game, the update cadence, I don't know, like multiple factors about many live service games that I've played over the past couple years, Marathon, Payday 3, they just don't do it for me. And how I've been playing this game recently, I've just been having a really good time with it. And hopefully that continues. Other than that, all that's left to say is, I was wrong about Warframe. You actually got to say stuff. When you're wrong about something, you actually got to say that you're wrong about it. I was completely wrong about Warframe, my perspective on it, and how I went about playing it. So, if you have any thoughts on, like, I guess, share your frustrations with Warframe as an early player and how it maybe dissolved over time, or how you dealt with those frustrations, because I kind of want to hear how other people dealt with their frustrations with a game like this. I've heard that a lot of other people actually had similar like reasons for initially quitting Warframe, and then they came back to it with a different mindset, and it worked out for them in the same way as it worked out for me. So maybe that's just like the rite of passage for a Warframe player, right? But yeah, if you have an experience like that, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you next time.